Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to find myself in this phenomenal platform. And this is my first experience. And I'll just shoot to the presentation because I've been introduced to you. So the paper explores the recreation and leisure opportunities of the Letsibogo Dam, which is located in the Madinari, a village in the northeastern part of the Botswana. So Botswana has a clear sustainable economic development and implementation framework, which is enveloped in the Vision 2036 of Botswana. And there's a need to promote micro and small entrepreneurial businesses for sustainable livelihoods for community members, which is also seen in the pillar 1 of the Vision 2036. So Botswana has launched the Dam's Tourism Project, which attempted to unlock the dam's recreation and leisure tourism opportunities. And these opportunities are meant to benefit local communities more than others. So, next slide. The level of local community participation. Yes. Yeah, this is the rationale of the study. The level of local community participation and their attitudes towards the dam's recreation and leisure tourism is a challenge in our country. Recent assessments of Botswana's tourism show that the country's tourism industry is very restrictive in nature. It's meaning that it relies more on foreign-owned facilities and investments to successfully. Therefore, we go to the literature. An exploratory study into tourism, recreation, and other opportunities in the environment of Letsibogo Dam was done and was funded by the European Union, conducted in the year 2009. And this led to the Dam's Tourism Project of 2017. Now, the study found gaps which were informed by literature. That is, while there is a well-established literature on tourism development in Botswana, much of it has focused on the importance and challenges of tourism planning and development rather than on recreation and leisure opportunities. As we see, studies conducted by Mbaiwa 2005, it focused on macro level of tourism participation. Also Mbaiwa 2011-2015, it focused on ecotourism. And then we have Lenao in 2015, he focused on benefits and challenges of tourism, ecotourism. Now, the study focuses on the local community's level of participation, awareness, their role and attitude towards tourism sustainability, particularly their level of participation, awareness and attitudes of recreation and leisure tourism opportunities. The main question is, do experiences and attitudes towards recreational and leisure tourism of local community in Madinari align with the Dam Tourism Project? The theoretical framework. So the study was informed by the social exchange theory and the theory of empowerment and participation. The social exchange theory addresses issues of communities' attitudes towards tourism. And then the radical empowerment, or the theory of empowerment, addresses issues of power, control of information, and resources. The methods, the study adopted the qualitative approach, which is a case study design, and a total number of 25 participants were interviewed. And the approach was, the study took a purposive sampling to represent active stakeholders or local in the categories of local authorities, local communities, government officials, and business people within the local community. And data collection tools we used, the study used interviews, and there was also a focus group discussion and also document analysis. And then analysis, the descriptive and thematic analysis approach was adopted. The results, the study showed that there was a low level of awareness and participation by locals in the marginal community. And this was particularly because these were pointed out that lack of expertise, low level of tourism awareness and training in the area of recreation and leisure tourism was realized to be a problem. And then unequal sharing of dam-based businesses and opportunities was also raised as a major problem. Lack of community empowerment and especially sensitization through promotional activities such as advertising, workshops, and training. Results continues, positive attitudes and hopefulness was observed, in that the members of communities raised that community members were always willing to participate in the tourism initiatives. They were involved passively in meetings and consultations regarding tourism initiatives and projects. Self-mobilized projects of small scale and little impact on community development were also done. Conclusions and recommendations. Poor implementation of Botswana Dam Tourism Framework, in the sense that this situation has to be, there was poor implementation of Botswana Dam Tourism Framework, and this situation has to be changed. The study has suggested, among other things, strengthening local people's legal rights and legal rights and use of resources and capacity building. There is need for development of strategy implementations of policies to avoid this is what left. To avoid we are really sorry about this. To avoid. Can't we take This, it's a good time. I'm really sorry about that. There is a need for development of strategy for implementation of policies to avoid gaps that always exist between policy and implementation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your presentation. Thank you to all the presenters and the supporters.
Yes.
All right. Before we take questions, please, can I quickly confirm from Prof if we've got anyone waiting for presentation before the next break, so that we know the number of questions we need to take for this section?
No, actually, we were supposed to have Bridget, but she is not here. My guess is that we just carry on, and at 3:30, Godfrey will take over as chair of the workshop.
Okay.
We'll expect some students to join us, and then after 3:30, there's going to be a break, after which Larry comes in for the symposium. And if anybody is late, then they need to wait until those two events before you. If there is no one, then you round up after Larry's event.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's take questions. Let's present our questions. Thank you once again for your wonderful presentation on cultural tourism. Any question, please, or comments?
Yes, I do have a question. You were talking about the dam and its economic significance. So is it really, I mean, your presentation, was it really talking about how we can be economically significant in near future by using other, similar resources such as like dams and land and whatnot? Sorry, should I repeat the question?
Yes, yes.
Okay, should I repeat the question? No, I'm just saying is that when you came up with this presentation, or should I say when you came up with the paper, what were your thoughts to come to such a conclusion? Did you see that Botswana could further become economically significant by economic significant, I mean by it could be doing better economically by using state resources such as dams and whatnot and other parks?
Yeah, I guess so, because when she started, she said around 2017, the country has actually seen the need that if it uses its own resources like dams, as you have said, they can actually increase the economic activities, especially of the local community members. And most of these dams, they are actually located far away from towns, where the majority of the people are in the rural areas and they are poor. And some of them, they are not studying now, living with those dams. Some of them, their entire living has been using the dams. And now what the government actually have seen is that these dams, if everything is now, it's not owned by the government per se, but if there's a policy actually to ensure that there's some sharing. Because if you still remember when she started, she said, there has been an imbalance between those activities mostly owned by the foreigners or people who are not locals. And the government came with this policy to say locals can actually use the resources that is very close to them. So we are hopeful that if the implementation is carried out as suggested in the tourist framework, then the economy of the country in one way or the other, it can be increased. I think most of you understand that Botswana has too much reliance on the diamond, and everyone is saying diamond is not forever, so the country needs to be doing something for itself. And perhaps to say that, I think we have realized that this dream, it can become true ever since COVID-19 really hit us, because we have been relying on South Africa, and South Africa has closed its borders. And as you all know, South Africa is becoming worse in terms of COVID-19. And the president and the country and everyone of us is believing that, yes, if we look at our own resources, our own heritage, what we have now, we can do something to rely on them, because perhaps relying on other people for this long is long, especially during this time of the crisis. We may find that the whole country, and especially, like I'm saying, people in the rural areas, like in Madinari, where this dam is, they can suffer. So yes, we are hopeful that it can increase the economic significance of the country.
All right, thank you very much for that question. Answering that
Thank
question.
Right.
All right, any other question?
I'm Peggy from Botswana. In addition to what my colleagues have said, the topic promotes positive attitudes and hopeful willingness for Botswana people or Botswana nation to participate in the work of in promoting tourism in Botswana. Thank you. As Botswana, we are encouraged to all participate in tourism, as the nation is encouraging all of us to participate, to use our resources within the country. Thank you.
All right, one question from me. How do you consider the issue of security and cultural tourism in Botswana?
When you say how, are you actually asking us the issue of our experiences in terms of the security, whether people are actually secure and safe to engage in?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think when it gets to the issue of security and safety, like you are saying, if you look at the framework that we are using, the framework that we are using is relatively very new, because this came in 2017. Most of this time, everyone will be, let me just take, for example, the Ngamiland people. They have been doing business with the fish and selling it. And everyone was just selling without any guidance. And now with this tourism framework, we are hoping that now people can become secure. And then we are hoping that people will engage, I don't know what I can say, in the business with some assurance that the government has mechanism to regulate. Because before that, there has not been any regulation. You will just go there, get what you are getting, get out of the country, out of the region, because this is regional, like I'm saying. You find the dams in one region and they are not in other region. So for now, really, I don't think there has ever been a study done to answer your question very well. It just will be just our own thinking that yes, perhaps the community itself, it has been secure or in doing what they know they have been doing the rest of their lives. But in terms of protection from other things that we know at times when you are an entrepreneur, you may get some challenges of cheated. No, there's never been like this. This is a very new framework that started in 2017, and we are hoping that it can protect them.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Can I just say, commend, Rebecca, for what you've done. I mean, you always, when you see a good teacher, you can tell. Trying to encourage their students, exposing them to international audience such as this. So well done to you in particular. And I hope that we see more of that coming from you and from other colleagues in Botswana. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Richard says,
may I ask a question? It's probably too big a question to ask, but
Okay.
and so perhaps it's a comment more. Thank you for the presentation. I love the presentation, but I would have liked some more information because the word dam conjures up a range of different possibilities, and I would have liked to have seen a bit more detail on what kinds of opportunities this dam created, from fishing, sailing, generating electricity, irrigation of agriculture. What exactly are the possibilities that were opened up by this dam that could be exploited by the local community? That I would have just loved to have seen a bit more detail, so I had a clearer idea in my mind of what project was about. Thank you though.
Any reaction to that?
Did you want us to comment on that?
Well, I'd be very happy to hear any answer to that, but I was also thinking in terms of, I kind of suggest to you for future presentations, when you present this again, perhaps some more of that background detail would be helpful to your audience.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's very true. Thank you for that. We will take that into consideration. Thanks a lot.
Okay, I'd also like to add, if they are giving us a preview of whether that dam, there is an annual festival that takes place there, and if the villagers' livelihood depends on that, because if there's an annual festival, it opens up the community, and if now government is now taking over the place, what is being done, those amenities that will be taken over, and the enlightenment. Because over here in my country, we have so many cultural festivals like that. And once in a year, people gather to celebrate those festivals. And we know that during those periods, those communities are lighted all over. Is it something like that, or it can be added to the study?
Definitely we do. Yeah. Definitely we do have something like that. There are cultural festivals like Bodi Turuba and what. And mostly in this cultural festival, people come just to show their cultures. But the type of empowerment that she talked about here, where people can be told that you have this in your locality, this is how you can use it. That's not what is happening. It's just to come and share. For example, at times we do have where we are going to be showing our traditional dance, or we are going to be showing our food, or we are going to be showing the handcrafts, you know, the basketry and all these things. But we are, it's not at a level of capacitating, it's for those people who already have an idea or capacity to do something, not to try to teach them what they can do with what is already in their local communities, but that those are there. And perhaps we can say, because we do have, we as a university, we do participate in something like this. Recently or currently we were organizing one big one with the San Diego people. And perhaps what we are saying is we can take that into consideration to say, as we organize this cultural festival, we should embed in it the issue of empowering, especially those community members who have the indigenous skills, for example, of doing fishing and then canning it, but as the framework is saying, developing the market for them to go and, you know, grow them. But we don't, the cultural festival, our cultural festival, they don't take that, the issue of empowerment very, very serious, as we are saying that. It's just to go and share what we have.